Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current transfer rumours and gossip, giving you the latest news of what players of course are linked with Manchester United. So lots to talk about on this video today, but the first topic of the development I'm going to give you an update on is in regards to BISSAKA, as I have been updating you on a regular basis. So reportedly BISSAKA has told Crystal Palace that he wants to join Manchester United. I'm still very sceptical about BISSAKA coming to Manchester United, because I don't think there's enough credibility in it as yet. Recent reports have suggested how Manchester United are preparing to offer around £50 million for his services. Initially, Crystal Palace are demanding they want around £60 million. So whether they're willing to accept this £50 million bid or not, I do not know. Recently, we have had a bid of £40 million turned down for him, but he's one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's prime targets. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit British talents to Manchester United this summer, and there's quite a few British talents on our current agenda, and obviously he's worked out his transfer strategy. He wants to recommend a number of young players to come in, but BISSAKA I do believe would be the right solution for Manchester United. I think he's got the ability to elevate Manchester United at least in the next 2 to 3 years. He's predominantly a right back, and that's one of the pivotal areas where Manchester United do need to strengthen up. But I think also Tottenham have inquired about BISSAKA's services. I think it came out a couple of weeks ago saying that Manchester United had also submitted a bid of around £25 million, but obviously this figure is going to be nowhere near enough to convince Crystal Palace to offload him. But obviously we need a replacement for Antonio Valenti, because obviously we know Valenti is leaving the club. Obviously he's served 10 years at Manchester United, so he's been a long servant here. I think it remains uncertain where Antonio Valenti will be at where his next destination is going to be, but we do know he's leaving. We need an upgrade to Ashley Young, because he's been a long serving player here. He's been here 8 years. Obviously he's no longer got the ability to fulfill that right back position. He was our first choice right back last season, but he is one of the problematic players at Manchester United, and I think he's going to be given the captaincy for next season. It was a bad mistake from the club, giving Ashley Young that new 1 year extension, and obviously we need a cover up for Diego Dalot, so we definitely need to get a right back in, and I do believe that BISSAKA is our top priority, of course. So BISSAKA, as I said, he's 21 years of age. He has spent the entirety of his career with Crystal Palace. He's proven in the Premier League. I think he's only been in Crystal Palace's senior squad about 15 or 16 months. Obviously made his senior debut in February of last year, and last season established himself as a first team regular, did BISSAKA. So he's regarded now as one of the best right backs in the Premier League. Initially, Crystal Palace don't want to sell him, because they know how much of an essential player he is. So he is predominantly a right back, but when he was younger, he was actually not an out-and-out winner, but as he was developing, he got rotated as a right back. He's got 3 years left on his contract, so hopefully we can get a deal over the line for BISSAKA. So allegedly, he wants to join Manchester United, and he's informed Crystal Palace about this, but Crystal Palace said they want around £60 million, and we are preparing to offer around £50 million for his services. But there's quite a few right backs on our current agenda, and reports are coming out saying that we are seeing Norwich's Max Aarons as an alternative to BISSAKA. So if we don't get a deal over the line for BISSAKA, we are looking into getting Max Aarons from Norwich. Obviously, Max Aarons made his senior debut last year. Obviously, Norwich won the championship last season, as you all know. I think Max Aarons signed a new contract, back in October of last year. He's only 19 years of age. I think he's primarily a right back, but he can also play as a left back, Max Aarons. And I think if BISSAKA, of course, is to leave Crystal Palace, they'll target Max Aarons as a replacement for BISSAKA. So BISSAKA is our top priority, but if we don't get BISSAKA, we are looking at the possibility of getting Max Aarons from Norwich. And obviously, there has been a lot of talks about Thomas Meunier going on from PSG, as we all know. And looking at it from a financial point of view, Thomas Meunier is going to substantially cost us a lot less than BISSAKA, because it came out the other week saying that PSG are demanding they want from 22 to 25 million pounds for him, and that is a reasonable figure, of course. And I like Thomas Meunier a lot. I think it's imminent that he's going to be leaving PSG, because obviously he is surplus to requirements at PSG. I think he's been surplus to requirements, since Umar loan left PSG, and this is the main factor reason why he's set to leave PSG this summer. Manchester United have made initial contact with PSG. Also, Arsenal have made initial contact with PSG, because maybe Umar is keen on reuniting with a player. Don't forget. Obviously, I said he flourished under Umar guidance. Did Thomas Meunier, but since he's left, he has found himself surplus to requirements. But he's only got a year left on his contract with PSG. I think it did get revealed he has been a Manchester United fan, since he was a child. Thomas Meunier. So I think his preference is Manchester United. Of course, he is predominantly a right back. He can also play in other positions as well. So very versatile, can score goals, can provide. 27 years of age, and he has still got quite a lot of development in him. I still say he's got at least another 3 or 4 years left in him. He has been at PSG 3 years. I think he's made about 101 appearances for them. PSG got him in 2016 from Club Brugge for around £5 million. So there has been a lot of talks about Meunier going on, so he's also on our current agenda. So yeah, there's quite a few right backs on our agenda, but I think BISSAKA, remains the top priority, of course. But Solskjaer wants to win at least 5 new additions to the squad. Obviously, we've got our first signing of the summer, through Daniel James, which is very, very good. Obviously, it's our first signing under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, of course, which is good news. But obviously, Solskjaer's going to want to build on that now and bring another 4 or 5 more players. And I think it's looking very imminent. Our second signing, to be quite honest with you, is probably, going to be Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon. I think Bruno Fernandes, did admit that, he did admit that he would, speak to Sporting Lisbon about leaving if a team came up with an offer that, that he couldn't, refuse. But I do believe Manchester United are in the ascendancy of getting a deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes. I think we are set to get him in a deal worth around £70 million, because Manchester United are reportedly, prepared to pay £70 million for his services, because I think initially, Sporting Lisbon want around £70 million. But it came out a couple of days ago, saying that Manchester United are very close to signing him. It did say Manchester United and Sporting Lisbon have reached an agreement. A lot of reports were coming out from the Portuguese press last week saying that Tottenham had entered the race. It also said that Liverpool had entered the race for Bruno Fernandes, and obviously Tottenham and Liverpool can offer him Champions League football. Obviously Manchester United can't offer him, Champions League football. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was saying towards the back end of last season, he still believes we can attract players to the highest level, even though we're not in a Champions League football for next season. But I do believe we're definitely going to get Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, I think it did say Manchester United had scheduled a meeting with Sporting Lisbon, to get a deal finalised. It came out last week saying that, Ed Woodward was hesitant over our transfer move for Bruno Fernandes, and I think Ed Woodward has got reservations about spending big on players who from his own perspective, doesn't think is going to step up to the mark and all that. But I think Bruno Fernandes, will step up to the mark. I know he hasn't, really played to the highest level and all that yet. He was I think Bruno Fernandes did say as well, that he had a great time in Italy and all that, and I think he misses Italy, to be quite honest, because obviously he spent the majority of his career in Italy, when he was younger and all that. And I think he said he still watches, the Italian Championship and all that. I think he mentions that he watches Inter Milan and all others as that. So he did say he follows all them, did Bruno Fernandes. He came out a couple of weeks ago, saying that he's unsure about his future. He's aware of the speculation, because he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation and all that. But he did say he's had a good couple of years with Sporting Lisbon, and he doesn't know if he's going to be spending a third year. But Manchester United have planned to pay up to £78 million for his services. He is primarily an attacking midfielder, so if Paul Pogba is to leave the club, you could say that Bruno Fernandes, would be the adequate replacement for him. But he has been one of our priority targets. Obviously, Tottenham have been in there for him, because obviously Tottenham want to do transfer activity this summer. Tottenham have got a number of midfielders on their current agenda, because obviously Christian Eriksen's linked with a move to Real Madrid, and obviously if he leaves, Tottenham are going to want a replacement for Christian Eriksen. And obviously, the main priority target, I think, has been Giovanni Lo Celso from Real Betis. But obviously, it came out last month saying that Tottenham lodged a bid in for Giovanni Lo Celso, but reportedly this bid had been turned down by Real Betis. I think the bid was around £53 million that Tottenham had put in. So they are basically seeing Bruno Fernandes as an alternative, to Giovanni Lo Celso. But Tottenham haven't done any transfer activity in the last couple of windows. I think the last signing they got was Lucas Moura back in January 2018. And obviously, Mauricio Pochettino is going to want back in this summer. So Tottenham are going to want to get a player or two on the board at least. And he did say, like I said, Liverpool were in for Bruno Fernandes, but obviously I think he would fit Liverpool's system, perfectly. Liverpool can offer him Champions League football and all that, but I don't think he will go to Liverpool. But it has been mainly Manchester United and Manchester City that have been battling it out for Bruno Fernandes' services. But obviously a lot of reports came out last week. City made a public statement, saying that they're no longer interested. They've pulled them out of the race for Bruno Fernandes. But initially City were only willing to pay around £47 million for his services, and it did say City willing to offer a couple of their players as part of the deal. So initially City have pulled them out of the race. So it's looking likely, we're going to get a deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes, which is very, very good news. So he's 24 years of age. He has still got a hell of a lot of development in him. His initial release cost is around £86 million. He's under contract with Sporting Lisbon until 2023. But he's done good in his couple of seasons there. He's exceeded expectation levels, and I do believe he can come and replicate this form in the Premier League with Manchester United. So obviously, he wants to rejuvenate his career. He wants to take his footballing career to the next level, of course. So it's looking like that Bruno Fernandes is currently, going to be coming in. I do expect probably about 3 or 4 players, to leave Manchester United this summer. Maybe 5, may currently leave. But as I said, we'll see what happens. But I do believe in the next couple of seasons, our aspirations is probably going to be that top four. I've heard people saying, if we get our #1 targets this summer or get the right players to Manchester United this summer, I do believe we can maybe challenge for the league next season. Maybe even win the league next season. But I don't think that's currently going to happen. Like I said, I think our aspirations in the next couple of seasons is going to be that top four. I think we're a number of years off, for mounting any kind of title challenge up. And at the moment, the likes of City are strides ahead of us. Liverpool are strides ahead of us. So it's very essential that we catch up with the likes of City and Liverpool. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is working on, trying to, bring the right players to Manchester United who he thinks are going to elevate Manchester United forward, who he thinks are going to fit the culture of the club, who he thinks are going to fit the history of the club. And he's also, he also wants to fulfil them areas where Manchester United are lacking. So you can see, he knows where the deficiencies are in the squad and all that. And he's also, working on trying to keep his imperative players at the football club. I think another issue with Manchester United as well, we have let far too many players' contracts run down. Obviously, that's been another kind of problem. But we have been playing catch up for the last 5 or 6 years, as you all know. Obviously, we have been mismanaged in the last 5 or 6 years, to be fair, since Alex Ferguson retired. We've had different managers with different philosophies. Like I said, a hell of a lot of money has been invested into the club. I think we spent £700 million in all the managerial areas. We've seen players come in and we've seen players go. So looking at, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding. Obviously, Daniel James is his, but, he's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's inheriting 11 of Jose Mourinho's players. There's still quite a lot of players here from Van Gaal. There's Mari from the David Moyes area. There's still 4 or 5 players here from the Alex Ferguson area. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is inheriting all of them. So we've got to get the right recruitment this summer, because analysing our recruitment policy, it's very, very poor. Obviously, we didn't get anyone in January. Reflecting back last summer, we didn't get anyone because obviously, when we had Jose Mourinho, the board weren't back in the signs that Jose Mourinho wanted to recommend her to come in. And obviously, the two main factor reasons why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho, despite him, winning 2 trophies in his first season at the club, because obviously he had bad disputes with the board, obviously, had bad disputes with the players and all that, and obviously, the signs he wanted to bring in, he didn't get backs for that. So this is the main factor reason, why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho, of course. But yeah, it's looking like Bruno Fernandes is currently going to be our second sign, which is very, very good news. And hopefully, BISSAKA is currently going to be our third signing. Now, talking about Harry Maguire from Leicester, now he's on Manchester United's agenda. Is Harry Maguire. Whether we get Harry Maguire or not, I do not know, because obviously, Leicester have priced him out of the transfer market. They're demanding an extortionate amount for him. Reportedly, it says Leicester want around 80 or 90 million pounds for him, and it has been Manchester United and Manchester City that have been interested in Harry Maguire. Obviously, City are seeing him as a replacement for Vincent Kompany. I think City have identified Harry Maguire as their #1 target, to replace Vincent Kompany. And I think, from Harry Maguire's perspective, he's going to want to take his footballing career to the next level, rejuvenate his career. Even if he doesn't leave Leicester this summer, at some point in his career, he's going to want to take his career to the next level, of course. And so it has been Man United and Manchester City that are battling it out for Harry Maguire. Like I said, Leicester want around 80 or 90 million pounds. Man United and City have got the financial power to meet that valuation, but I think Manchester United and Manchester City, would be reluctant, to pay that much for Harry Maguire. Because in my own opinion, I don't think he's worth 80 or 90 million pounds. He's not a Van Dijk from Liverpool. He's not a Koulibaly from Napoli. He's not a Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Harry Maguire's nowhere near their calibre or level. So I don't think he's worth 80 or 90 million pounds. But Harry Maguire's been relentlessly, linked with a move to Manchester United, and obviously the rumours have continued to persist since last summer. Obviously, the process started under Jose Mourinho because Harry Maguire was one of the players that Jose Mourinho currently wanted. Obviously, I don't think we got him last summer because I think Leicester wanted around 70 or was it 75 million pounds. But Manchester United, of course, were reluctant to pay that. So for BISSAKA and Harry Maguire, it's going to probably cost us around at least 130 million pounds, maybe even 140 million pounds. Of course, I think Manchester United, will be happy to get BISSAKA in, but I think we've got reservations about the fee for Harry Maguire, because like I said, I don't think we'd be willing to pay up to 80 or 90 million pounds for his services. But if Manchester United or Manchester City, were willing to pay 80 or 90 million pounds for him, it would make him the most expensive defender in world football. Because obviously the most expensive defending world football at the moment is obviously Virgil van Dijk, who Liverpool paid £75 million for. It would also make him the most expensive English player of all time, of course, ahead of Kyle Walker, because obviously Kyle Walker is the most expensive English player at the moment, who City paid £50 million for a couple of years ago. I think there were also initial add-ons including the deal, so it potentially risen it to around 52 or 53 million pounds. But I like Harry Maguire a lot, don't get me wrong, I think he's a really, really good central defender, still got a lot of development in him, 26 years years of age in his prime. You know, like I currently am saying, he's proven in the Premier League. You know, he has been at Leicester a couple of seasons. Obviously, he signed a new long-term contract with Leicester last summer, so he's under contract with them until 2023. Obviously, you know, I think he's made about 101 appearances in the Premier League. Leicester paid £17 million for him from Hull City back in 2017. So he has been at Leicester a couple of seasons. He also had a loan spell with Wigan, and obviously, as you all know, when he was a lot younger, he began his career with Sheffield United. He graduated from their youth system. I think he played about 166 professional games with Sheffield United. Did Harry Maguire, but he has been on Manchester United's agenda, you know, for quite some time. Because, like I said to you, you know, we definitely need two central defenders because we have got issues defensively. That was proven last season. You know, we conceded 54 goals in the Premier League last season, but we had the disappointing season last season. You know, finishing sixth. You know, no silverware are out, so we need to hope for better. You know, going on into next season. I think our expectations going into next season, you know, probably will be, you know, to probably finish in the top four, maybe win the Carabao Cup. You know, maybe win the Europa League, of course. But we need to enjoy a better season, you know, next season than we did currently last season. But yeah, so I think we need two central defenders without a shadow of a doubt. Like I said, there's so many central defenders on our agenda because I said we need two central defenders because Smalling's not good enough. You know, Phil Jones, of course, he's not good enough. You know, they're too inconsistent now with Smalling and Phil Jones. You know, they have been too long serving players the club. Smalling's been here 9 years. Jones has been here 8 years. They have won everything here domestically at Manchester United. You know, don't get me wrong, in England and that is. But like I said, they're too inconsistent now. And comparing them, I think Smalling's a much better defender than Phil Jones. But it was a bad mistake for Manchester United. You know, giving them two new long-term contracts. You know, we have got Eric Bailly, but like I said, with Eric Bailly, he's too Eric Bailly's, I was going to say consistent, and he's not inconsistent at all, but Eric Bailly's initially lost his place in the team, and like I said, you know, Solskjaer last season preferred the likes of Smalling and Jones ahead of Eric Bailly, and I think Eric Bailly's Manchester United career has been badly affected. You know, the amount of injuries he's sustained, obviously, you know, with his fallout under managers as well, that's been another problem for him. So I think it's had a really bad effect on his Manchester United career. I think Manchester United, you know, would be open to selling Eric Bailly. I think it would be beneficial if we did sell Eric Bailly. Like I said, we probably want to recoup the initial £30 million that we did pay for him from Villarreal back in 2016. If we are willing to currently sell him, but I think we need to get rid of Eric Bailly because he has initially lost his place in the team. So yeah, we do need two central defenders. We need someone that can, you know, go alongside Victor Lindelof, because I was very impressed with Victor Lindelof last season. He really stepped up to the plate. His distribution was good. He was showing that ability that he can play out from the back, and he was really, really good last season. I thought in his first season he struggled. You know, did Victor Lindelof? Obviously we got Lindelof for £31 million. Was it from Benfica back in 2017, of course, and I think he stepped up to the plate in his second season with the club. So we need someone that can, complement Victor Lindelof in our backline. I do believe Harry Maguire, you know, would be the right solution, but whether we're willing to pay 80 or £90 million or not, I do not know. Recent reports said, you know, we probably are going to be reluctant, you know, to pay that kind of money for Harry Maguire. Obviously, I've been updating you on a regular basis about Matthijs de Ligt from Ajax. Now, more additional information has updated about him. Reports are now saying that he is close to joining PSG, reportedly, because reports, this is actually, you know, as well stemming from Damasio, who's a very reliable Italian journalist. He says that PSG are close to signing Matthijs de Ligt, because reports did say yesterday, I think it was, that Matthijs de Ligt's agent Raiola has held negotiations with PSG's sporting director, and I think talks are set to, you know, to continue over getting a deal finalised. So reportedly now PSG are in the ascendancy. I did say anyway, I think his two likely destinations are going to be Barcelona or PSG. They are the two that are considered to be the favourites, you know, to get Matthijs de Ligt's signature. But Matthijs de Ligt has not yet, you know, made a decision on his future. I think I don't know when he's set to make a decision on his future, you know, to be quite honest with you, maybe after the summer holidays, but he's not yet made a decision on his future. You know, so many teams have inquired about his services. Obviously, it's very imminent he's going to be leaving Ajax this summer, but it still remains fully uncertain at the moment where he will be applying his trade next season. It didn't literally say Barcelona were set to reopen up talks with his agent Raiola, of course, because initially it came out the other week saying that talks had stalled, you know, between Matthijs de Ligt and Barcelona and all that, you know, based on, you know, reflecting on the financial demands. Obviously, you know, Barcelona were not willing to meet what de Ligt was demanding, not willing to meet what his agent Raiola, of course, was demanding. And like I said, this is the main factor reason why the talks had stalled. But we do know, at least in the last couple of months, that Barcelona have been in the ascendancy of getting Matthijs de Ligt on the board. It came out from Sky Sports, was it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, saying that, he's set to join Barcelona and all that. And I think his first choice preference, is Barcelona. Obviously, Barcelona have already got a deal over the line for his current teammate, Frankie de Jong, who Barcelona paid £65 million for. And obviously, maybe from Matthijs de Ligt's perspective, he wants to currently reunite with his teammate. Obviously, Juventus have inquired about his services. Liverpool have been in there. I was reading reports the other week, and it was saying Matthijs de Ligt's agent, Mani Raiola, from his own preference, he wants him to join Liverpool because maybe Raiola thinks, that will be a good solution, Liverpool, for Matthijs de Ligt and all that. Like I said, I think the main factor reason why Liverpool have showed their interest, because obviously, Liverpool have got Van Dijk, and Van Dijk and Matthijs de Ligt, know each other really, really well, and Liverpool probably keen on putting Matthijs de Ligt alongside Van Dijk in their back line and all that. So this is why Liverpool, had inquired about his services and all that. But they are both Dutch. They're both playing the Netherlands national team. It recently said that also Bayern Munich were in for Matthijs de Ligt, but now they're reportedly, opted out of the race. I still believe that Manchester United are in there for him, but I think Manchester United are set to miss out on him. I think the main factor reason why we're set to miss out on him, because obviously we're not in Champions League football for next season, and I think, he wants to join a club that can offer him Champions League football. I think he also wants to go to a club that's going to be able to assure him first team football, and Manchester United, would be able to assure, Matthijs de Ligt first team football. Of course, like I said, I think first team football would be much easier for him at Manchester United, than it would be for him at Barcelona and all that. But I think he wants to join a club that have got Champions League football. So like I said, I think also Manchester City inquired about his services, but I don't see Matthijs de Ligt going to Manchester City. And he did initially say, Manchester United had offered him a contract, worth up to £350,000 a week. Obviously, this equates to almost £17 million a year. And obviously, if this was the process, this would make him the highest paid teenager in world football, and also, make him the one of the highest paid players at Manchester United, of course. But like I said, I just don't think now he's coming here to Manchester United. But I like Matthijs de Ligt a lot, and I do believe I love him a lot. He would be the right solution for Manchester United, and I do believe he blended alongside Victor Lindelof in our backline really, really well. He'd fit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy perfectly. Only 19 years of age, very, very young, still got a hell of a lot of years ahead of him, and obviously, Matthijs de Ligt's going to want to take his footballing career to the next level. He's obviously so far spent the entirety of his career with Ajax. Obviously made his senior debut at the age of 17, was it? Got named captain at the age of 18 and enjoyed a great season last season with Ajax, winning the domestic double with them. That was the first time Ajax won the domestic double in 17 years. Obviously won the Eredivisie title for the first time in 5 years, and of course progressed to the Champions League semi-final. So Matthijs de Ligt can leave Ajax with his head held up high. He's got a lot of growth in him, as Matthijs de Ligt, which is good. And obviously, he won the Golden Boy Award last year. So he has been one of the Manchester United, main, targets, of course. In terms of the transfer fees, he's probably going to cost you from between, 70 to 75 million pounds. Initially, it came out the other week saying that we'd put a bid in for him of around 70 million pounds. But I think, according to recent reports, he's close to joining PSG. And his agent, Raiola, is set to have more negotiations with PSG and that, over getting a deal finalised. But PSG have spent big in the last couple of seasons, as you all know. They've got quite a few players on their agenda. Like I said, they've spent big in the last couple of seasons on Neymar and Mbappe, obviously, the two most expensive players in world football. So yeah, like I said, Manchester United are still in there, but I think, we are definitely set to miss out on Matthijs de Ligt. But he's been widely spoken about throughout the course of this window, and he has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Obviously, as well, giving you the latest news about David De Gea. So, according to recent reports now, Manchester United are reportedly set to offer David De Gea a new contract. Whether he's going, it remains uncertain whether he's going to accept this new contract offer or not. But obviously, it came out a couple of weeks ago saying that David De Gea had turned down a final contract offer from Manchester United. I think it's still looking very imminent. He's set to leave Manchester United. Is David De Gea, but Manchester United have blatantly made it clear, we are not willing to sell David De Gea this summer, because obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how imperative he is. But obviously, if he refuses, to accept this new contract offer that Manchester United are obviously, going to offer him, then obviously we've got to sell him this summer. We can't let David De Gea go on a free transfer next year, because that would be a calamity indeed, of course. And he did initially say that PSG were prepared to put a bid in for him around £60 million. Obviously, I think PSG is his likely destination if he does leave Manchester United. And obviously, I said at full value for the goalkeeper, David De Gea is worth around £100 million, but obviously we're not going to get £100 million for him because he's in the final year of his contract. Maybe if he had like 3 years on his contract, maybe we would get around £100 million for De Gea, because potentially he's the best goalkeeper in the world. Obviously, he's been here about 8 years, so he's been a fantastic servant to the club. He has made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions as David De Gea. He's won everything domestically. He's won the club's player of the year 4 times out of the last 6 years. So yeah, he's been a fantastic servant to the club, and he hasn't really done much wrong. I know he made costly mistakes towards the back end of last season, but that was mainly to do with the contractual situation. So it does say De Gea he's wanting around, he wants to be one of the highest paid players alongside Alexis Sanchez at the club, and I think it didn't just say he's demanding around £350,000 a week from Manchester United, but reportedly Manchester United are not willing to meet his current wage demands, and this is why we haven't got him a new contract. But we have been in negotiations to try to get David De Gea a new contract, at least for the last 18 months or summer. But obviously, we haven't got him a new contract. Of course, Real Madrid, of course, have been linked to him for years. Obviously, they were on the brink of getting him back in 2015, but due to a fax machine, the deal never currently materialised. So reportedly now, Manchester United are willing to offer him a new contract. Like I said, whether he accepts it or not, I do not currently know, because Man United are trying to convince him to remain at the football club, because he has been loyal with us for 8 years. He has been here, since the Alex Ferguson era. Obviously, we've got him for around £17 million, but I don't see him going to Real Madrid if he leaves. I think it's also said that Juventus have expressed their interest, but obviously PSG have expressed their interest even more now, because obviously, they've currently lost Buffon, as you all know. Like I said, though, if David De Gea does leave, we need to definitely buy a goalkeeper to replace him. I don't think it's initially in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans, for us to buy a goalkeeper to replace David De Gea. Obviously, I think it did initially say Solskjaer was willing to promote Sergio Romero as our number one goalkeeper. Like I said, Romero, I don't think he's reliable enough, as yet to become our number one goalkeeper. I know we've got Dean Henderson, but Dean Henderson's too inexperienced at the moment. Dean Henderson needs to gain a bit more experience. He has been on loan with Sheffield United, but I think we need to orchestrate on loaning Dean Henderson out for another season. So there has been a lot of talks going on about Jano Blanca from Atletico Madrid, and I updated you about Jano Blanca yesterday, and reportedly he said he wants to leave Atletico Madrid this summer, I think due to broken promises, and I think his preference is to join Manchester United, because I think it did get revealed he was a Manchester United fan as a child. He did say was Jano Blanca, and he's keen on making the move to Manchester United. So I like Jano Blanca a lot. I won't put him in the same calibre or level as David De Gea, but I still think he's regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Obviously, he's 26. He's 2 years younger than David De Gea is Jano Blanc. I think there was talks about this, was it about 4 or 5 weeks ago now, saying that Manchester United, were preparing to trigger his £100 million buyout clause. Well, I think his buyout clause is around 100, or is it 106 or 107 million pounds or something like that. Obviously, he extended his contract recently. I think it was back in April. He extended his contract, and I think he also got a pay rise in his buyout clause. I think he's under contract with Atletico Madrid until 2023. But he's a really, really good goalkeeper. He doesn't really leak a lot of goals, good shot stopper and all that. I think it was only last season that Liverpool's Allenton, kept as many clean sheets as Jano Blanc. But yeah, pretty decent goalkeeper, 26, still got a lot of years ahead of him. He's been at Atletico Madrid 5 seasons. Obviously, Atletico Madrid got him from Benfica. I think he's made over 200 odd appearances for Atletico Madrid. He has won 3 major honours with Atletico Madrid, including the UEFA Super Cup and the Europa League. So reportedly, Manchester United are in there for him as a replacement for David De Gea. So Jano Blanc, as I said, he's got a buyout clause around £100 million. More than likely, Manchester United, will have to trigger that. But obviously, if we do sell De Gea this summer, obviously we'll raise that money and then use that money, to probably get Jano Blanc. Of course, Jano Blanc obviously hasn't been in the Premier League as yet, but like I said, he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. So I do believe he'd be a good replacement for De Gea. Obviously, there's been talks of Jordan Pickford in the past. So yeah, there's been quite a few goalkeepers mentioned, who could replace David De Gea at Manchester United. But initially said PSG, were intending on getting him on a free transfer next year. So that could obviously, tempt them to offer him a bigger salary and all that. But he did say PSG are willing to meet David De Gea's £350,000 a week wage man. So reportedly, we've offered David De Gea now a new contract, and obviously more things will update him about that. Like I said though, I said probably 3 or 4 players are expected to leave Manchester United, but we have got a release list, obviously, of around 14 players and all that. Obviously, Herrera's on that release list. Obviously, Antonio Valencia and that's on that release list. But actually, Juan Mata is not on that release list because I read it up the other day as I've been updating you on a regular basis, saying that reportedly Manchester United are willing to offer Juan Mata a new contract. Whether Juan Mata accepts his contract offer or not, I do not know, because it has been looking very likely he's going to be leaving Manchester United because he's just got under 3 weeks left on his existing deal as Juan Mata. Obviously, we know he doesn't get in the team now. He's basically a squad player now. He's Juan Mata at Manchester United. But obviously, I don't think it'd have been a long-term contract would have offered him, because obviously reflecting on his age, he's 31 years of age. He's aging up now. He's Juan Mata, and he has lost that yard of pace. But like I said, I would like Juan Mata, to stay at the club at least for another season, because I think he's been a good servant here. I think he's been very consistent. He's been here 5 years. We paid just under £40 million for him from Chelsea back in 2014, and he has been very, very consistent as Juan Mata. He has made over 200 appearances for us in all competitions. Scored about 45 goals. Juan Mata. So there's a possibility, chance now that he could remain at the football club. Obviously, it did say Newcastle have been interested in him. It also said that Barcelona have been interested. It said Barcelona have been in talks of getting Juan Mata on a free transfer. Obviously, Juan Mata, from his own preference, if he is to leave Manchester United, probably wants to make the return back to Spain, because obviously he's born in Spain, grew up in Spain. Obviously, began his career in Spain, with Real Madrid and Valencia and all that. But like I said, good servant in the Premier League. He's been in the Premier League in total about 7-8 years now. Obviously, this was including his 2.5-3 years he had with Chelsea when he was younger. So there's a possibility that Juan Mata could stay. With Rashford, he's in the final year of his deal as well. I don't think Manchester United are orchestrating on selling Marcus Rashford. I think we have been in talks for quite a while of trying to get him a new contract, Marcus Rashford. But I don't think we're orchestrating on selling him. I still believe he's a long-term solution for Manchester United, is Marcus Rashford. Even though he has been very inconsistent in the last couple of months, but obviously Rashford hasn't emulated to that level yet. It's going to take him at least a couple of years, to get him to that level, where he currently wants to be. Only 21 years of age, still got a hell of a lot of development in him. So you've got to give him at least a couple of years, to graduate into that level, where he currently wants to be. Marcus Rashford, he's been a United player since the age of 7, the age of 8. Progressing them up the ranks fantastically well, and he's been in the senior squad of us since 2016. And like I said, he did sustain a couple of injuries last season, so that could have taken its toll on him. He can play centrally, he can play out wide, but like I said, he's more effective, centrally. He's Marcus Rashford. But recent reports said that Barcelona are interested in him. Obviously, Real Madrid have been linked with him in the past. I think Barcelona are looking to sign Rashford if they can't sign Griezmann, or if they can't currently sign Neymar, of course. I don't know about Marcus Rashford. I think he wants to stay with Manchester United maybe for the time being, but maybe I don't know about his long-term future, of course. Depends how we are in the next couple of seasons, because maybe, Rashford eventually will want to go to a team that can compete and offer him Champions League football and win trophies and all that. And obviously, he's an experiencing this at Manchester United at the moment, so I think he wants to remain loyal to Manchester United for now anywhere. So yeah, these quite a few players' contracts are running down, and then that's been a problem with Manchester United. As I've been updating you on a regular basis as well about Romelu Lukaku, it has been looking very imminent. He's set to leave Manchester United this summer, but now his proposed move to Inter Milan, could be a stumbling block, based on the huge transfer fee that we have put on Romelu Lukaku. Maybe Inter Milan are trying to orchestrate something out, to get Romelu Lukaku on the board, because obviously it's Antonio Conte's number one target, is Romelu Lukaku. I think obviously, as it did get confirmed, Inter Milan need to raise around £40 million before the end of this month, to meet financial fair play regulations. If they don't raise this £40 million, their move for Lukaku obviously does come to a conclusion, of course. So that could be another stumbling block of Lukaku making his proposed move there to Inter Milan. But I think, Lukaku, does actually, want to leave Manchester United, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has told him his surplus 2 requirements at the club. Obviously, Manchester United have told him the other week that he can't leave the club. And obviously, he doesn't. He's initially lost his place in the team, because obviously, analysing the second season at Manchester United with Lukaku, he initially, basically, he was surplus 2 requirements. Mainly, Marcus Rashford was first choice ahead of him, of course. So maybe Lukaku, wants to leave, to get a short first team football, and obviously, he's no longer a short first team football at Manchester United, of course. And like I said, Inter Milan have been heavily linked to him, as you all know. Obviously, so we said we want around £80 million for him. So Inter Milan obviously are reluctant, to pay up to £80 million for Romelu Lukaku. So basically, we're looking to recoup the majority of the money that we did pay for him from Everton back in 2017, because we paid £75 million for him. Obviously, there were several add-ons included in the deal of around £15 million, which initially, risen the deal to £90 million. He has still got 3 years left on his contract as Lukaku, and he's on about £250,000 a week. And I said, we've got a history of spending big on players, especially in recent years. Prime example, Lukaku, 75 million. Paul Pogba, of course, £89 million. And like I said, always spending big on players, doesn't always guarantee you success and doesn't always get you in that commanding position, of course. And this is why some people have suggested out, we should be sensible with our recruitment this summer. But yeah, I think it did initially say that Inter Milan have agreed everything now, apart from, the initial fee. It said, Inter Milan had agreed personal terms with Lukaku. It also said Inter Milan agreed a 5-year deal with Lukaku worth around £7.5 million a year, and it also basically said that Inter Milan were willing to meet his wage demands. It also said Romelu Lukaku was even willing to take a pay cut, of course, but obviously they haven't come to an agreement on the initial fee. It did say in the media the other day that, as I think I updated you on it, saying that Inter Milan reportedly he said that Inter Milan reportedly offered Ivan Perisic plus cash for Lukaku, but reportedly Manchester United had turned this down because they're willing to offload Ivan Perisic, but like I said, Manchester United don't want Ivan Perisic because he's no longer a Manchester United target. He was a long-term target under Jose Mourinho, was Ivan Perisic, and the main factor reason why we didn't get him, because obviously we were reluctant to pay up to £48 million for his services at the time, and obviously now anyway it wouldn't fit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy. Solskjaer doesn't want any short-term players to the club, and obviously Ivan Perisic is 31 years of age, so he is aging up. So Inter Milan offered a player plus cash offer for Lukaku, but obviously Manchester United had turned this down, according to recent reports. Obviously Cardi has been mentioned that Inter Milan have reportedly offered Icardi as part of the deal, but reportedly Manchester United are not keen on bringing Mario Cardi, and so Inter Milan I think want to get rid of Mario Cardi, but I think we need to get rid of Lukaku because I think it'll help us with our rebuilding process. It will help us with our transition, and he's one of the problematic players at Manchester United, as you all know. But maybe we still think he's rated worth around between £70 to £80 million, reflecting on his age. He's 26 years of age as Lukaku. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him. He did well in his first season with Manchester United. He did really, really well, but he didn't replicate that in his second season. He's been here 2 seasons. I think he scored like 42 goals in 96 games for Manchester United as Lukaku. But, I've got reservations about him. Too inconsistent, not really good in the air. He'd never rise up to the occasions against the big teams. Hasn't really got that endless potential, too slow, like I said. So I've got so many reservations about Lukaku. So I think, we need to, try and get rid of him. But we probably want £80 million, but this is a figure that Inter Milan are reluctant to kill me. I do think Darmian and Rojo, they're 2 players that are definitely going to leave the club. Obviously, an estimated guess, we can get around £25 or £30 million, for Matteo Darmian and Marcus Rojo. But I think we need new additions in that midfield, as I do keep saying, like I said earlier on the video, it's looking likely Bruno Fernandes is coming in. Obviously, there's been a lot of talks about João Felix from Benfica. Obviously, it's Manchester United and Manchester City that are battling out for João Felix. And I like João Felix a lot, only 19 years of age. Obviously, has still got a lot of years ahead of him. And I think he can emulate into one of the best players in the world, João Felix. Like I said, last season when he was on his first season in the senior squad with Benfica, obviously has not yet made his senior debut of Portugal, but João Felix is going to cost you around £105 million because that's his release clause, and I think Benfica blatantly made it clear that if they are willing to sell him, his release clause has to be triggered. But it has been Manchester United and Manchester City mainly battling out for his services, but he's been relentlessly linked to a move away from Benfica since January. Man United have actually been scouting João Felix since January, of course, but primarily an attacking midfielder, can also play as a winner, a striker. Can also play as a winner, striker and a secondary striker, so very, very versatile indeed. So I think he'd be fantastic for Manchester United. Got a hell of a lot of development in him. As I've been updating you on a regular basis as well about Youri Tielemans from Leicester, I think he's a potential Manchester United target if Paul Pogba does leave the club this summer. I like Youri Tielemans a lot, and quite a few teams have inquired about his services. Obviously, Manchester United I think have held negotiations. Obviously, Tottenham have also been in there. I think Arsenal have previously been linked with Youri Tielemans, but I think Youri Tielemans was pivotal in Leicester's transformation under Brendan Rodgers, and obviously Leicester looking to get Youri Tielemans on a permanent deal. Leicester have been in talks with Monaco about this, about getting him on a permanent deal, because obviously Youri Tielemans has had about 5 or 6 months of experience under his belt in the Premier League, because he has been on loan with Leicester. I think from Youri Tielemans' perspective, he's aware of the speculation, but I think he's expected to return to Monaco at the end, expected to return to Monaco and all that, which he did basically say. I think he's initially, valued at around £40 million. He's under contract with Monaco till 2022. Like I said, I think he's primarily a central midfielder, but only very young, 22 years of age. So reportedly, he's been on Manchester United's agenda as Youri Tielemans. Obviously, there was a lot of talks going on about James Maddison the other week. A lot of reports coming out of the media saying that, that Man United were in for him. We emerged him as a priority target. Obviously, British, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit British talents this summer, like I said. And he's got a lot of years ahead of him as James Maddison. Obviously, it was his debut season in the Premier League last season, because it was only his first season, and he did really, really well. Was involved in 14 goals with Leicester. Created more chances than any other player. But I think from James Maddison's perspective, he's keen on remaining loyal, with Leicester, as he did basically say. Maybe at least for another season. It did say Manchester United, were emerged as the favourites, to currently get him. The likes of City, Liverpool and Tottenham have also been in for him. They've been tracking him, since he was a teenager at Coventry, because he did, grow up in that in Coventry, did James Maddison. But like I said, it did initially say Leicester wanted around £60 million. I mean, I think Manchester United, would be happy to pay around £60 million for James Maddison. Leicester got him last summer from Norwich for around £20 million. He's got 5 years on he signed a 5-year deal, so he's under contract with Leicester until 2023. But yeah, I like James Maddison a lot. Yeah, I think he's primarily an attacking midfielder, but like I said, I think he'd be the perfect solution for Manchester United. And obviously, we could see him as a replacement for Paul Pogba. But according to recent reports, he wants to stay with Leicester. There's James Maddison. James Maddison began his career with Coventry. I think he also had a loan spell with Coventry. He had a loan spell in Scotland with Aberdeen and all that. But quite a few teams have inquired by his services. So Man United have not put any formal bidding for him. We have made initial contact with the player and his representatives and all that. But yeah, there was a lot of talks going on about James Maddison the other week. I've already given you the latest news, haven't I, about Gareth Bale from Real Madrid. Obviously, Manchester United have inquired about getting him on loan and all that. Manchester United are not keen on getting Gareth Bale on a permanent deal, based on that he's injury prone and all that. Obviously, he's been inconsistent for Real Madrid in the last couple of seasons. So we're inquiring about getting him on loan. He did initially say Man United want to get him on a long-season loan. It's potentially 2 seasons, though, because there's an option to extend it by a further 12 months, reportedly. But Man United, of course, are willing to also, pay his wages off. Pays substantial wages. I think his wages are around £480,000 a week, and obviously, Man United are willing to pay him a loan fee. But this could be, beneficial for Real Madrid, because obviously, they can knock £50 million off their wage bill in the next couple of seasons if they are willing to go along with this. Obviously, Real Madrid want to get rid of him anyway, but I think Real Madrid would like to get rid of him permanently. But Real Madrid are going to find it difficult to get rid of him permanently, based on his substantial wages and all that. And obviously, not many teams are going to be able to afford to get Gareth Bale permanently. But Real Madrid initially said they want around £75 million for Bale. So basically, Real Madrid are looking to recoup the majority of the money that they did pay for him from Tottenham back in 2013, because obviously Real Madrid got him for around £85 million from Tottenham back in 2013, but they're not going to get £75 million for his services. Gareth Bale has still got 3 years left on his contract with Real Madrid. Like I said, a couple of main factors why I don't want him at Man United, because he's too injury prone, he's aging up as well. He's 29, I think he's 30 next month. He's Bale. If you'd asked me a couple of years ago, I probably would have took Gareth Bale at Manchester United, but even though he's injury prone, his ratio's still very good. He scored 102 goals in 231 games for Real Madrid. I think he has provided them about 64 assists. But Zinedine Zidane has confirmed he doesn't want him at the club. He's confirmed that he doesn't have a future at the club and all that, and he's not in his plans. So Real Madrid want to currently get rid of Bale, because Real Madrid have now got 2 players on the board. They've obviously got they've got Luka Jovic from Frankfurt, and also they've obviously got Eden Hazard from Chelsea. So now they'll probably be looking to finalise a deal for Christian Eriksen or Paul Pogba, of course. Maybe Real Madrid's preferred choice is Christian Eriksen, because obviously he's going to be a cheaper solution than Paul Pogba, of course. But Christian Eriksen's is on Real Madrid's agenda and all that. But yeah, maybe possibly Bale could be still part of the deal with Paul Pogba, because Real Madrid are not keen on getting Paul Pogba in the straight cash payment. So it did say initially the other day that Real Madrid are willing to offer Gareth Bale in a transfer offer for Paul Pogba. So whether Manchester will go along with that or not, I do not know. So the main part of this video, was to update you about the latest news about BISSAKA and all that, and Harry Maguire and stuff like that. Basically now, allegedly, BISSAKA's told Crystal Palace he wants to join Manchester United. Like I said, I'm skeptical about BISSAKA coming to Manchester United because I don't think there's enough credibility in the stories at the moment. Reportedly we were willing to offer now £50 million after we've recently had a £40 million bid turned down for him. So we'll see what happens, and we will keep you up to date as we always do on this channel. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribing as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.